Our guests are here to share their personal journeys and provide a first-hand account of what it is like to be a part of the Graduate Student at Large program. This episode serves as a guide for prospective students, lifelong learners, and anyone curious about the program's inner workings. During our conversation, we'll uncover the program's core features, including the courses that left a lasting impact, the renowned professors who guide students, and the dynamic environment that fosters intellectual growth. Additionally, we'll explore the challenges and rewards of being part of this academic community and discuss how it has shaped the careers and lives of our alumni. So whether you're considering the Graduate Student at Large program or simply intrigued by the possibilities it offers, Conversations at Large is your ticket to discovering the opportunities and insights it can bring to your academic journey. So join us as we unveil the world of academic exploration through the Graduate Student at Large program at the University of Chicago. Welcome to Conversations at Large, our show dedicated to exploring the Graduate Student at Large program at the University of Chicago, commonly referred to as the GSAL program. I am your host, Esther Pandian-Risky, and for our inaugural show today, we have two distinguished GSAL alumni, Marvin Forte and Bianca Huerta. Way back in 2019, during one of our GSAL program informational sessions, I remember meeting Marvin and Bianca, and they have since taken GSAL courses and gone on to graduate from two prestigious graduate programs at the University of Chicago. For those of you unfamiliar with our GSAL program, remember GSAL is the Graduate Student at Large program. This is the oldest program at the University of Chicago and allows scholars and practitioners from all over the world who are not enrolled in master's or PhD programs to take credit-bearing courses for grades in all graduate divisions and professional schools at the University of Chicago. So your classmates are really MA and PhD students, and so you get that same classroom experience. The GSAL program results in a transcript with grades from the University of Chicago, and we have literally thousands of alumni who have used this experience to go on to prestigious graduate programs all over the world. So let's get started. We have Bianca and Marvin here. Bianca is a licensed social worker at the University of Chicago Hospital, and Marvin is an alumnus of the Harris School of Public Policy Studies and in the process of applying to law schools all over the world. They live together on the University of Chicago campus as resident heads. So can you take us back to 2019? What were you thinking about, where you were in your lives, and how did GSAL come into play?
Yes, Esther. So back in 2019, prior to that info session for GSAL, I had applied to the University of Chicago Crown School for social work, and I received an email from Ron Martin, part of the Dean of Students, and he mentioned in the email that I could take a look into GSAL courses because my GPA was a little lower than, and so in order for me to improve my academic background, I decided, okay, I need to figure out this GSAL program. Mm-hmm. And so at first I was a little nervous, but Marvin definitely encouraged me to, sign up for the information session and just learn a little bit more about GSAL. And going back to Ron Martin's email, I was able to take 6 courses with GSAL. And I would be able to take social work courses and get a transcript and transfer them over to the program if I decided to apply again and things like that. And so, yeah, in 2019, I was able to meet Esther here.
I remember that, yes.
Yeah, and it was just a time where I was able to select a class and get mentorship by Esther as well. And the course I ended up choosing was called Self-Awareness with Dr. S. And one thing that I was encouraged to do by you, Esther, was to, talk with Dr. S and see, how we could meet on every other week and to talk about the course, the materials, and that way I could learn more about Crown Family School of Social Work. And that's exactly what I did. I met with Dr. S every other week, and we were able to talk about the material in the course, and as well as, talk about critical thinking, right? That was one of the biggest things because I wanted to really take advantage of the program and to really talk about what is critical thinking in a course in a prestigious university. And yeah, I spoke with Dr. S about these things and about how I wanted to reapply.
And were your classmates, they were all from the Crown School, right? I mean, so as a GSAL student, you met with Crown School students who were enrolled in the master's program. What was that like to get to know them in these classroom settings?
Yes, at first it was a little intimidating, but I also wanted to feel empowered in the course. And so I right away shared, I am a GSAL student
Yes.
and I'm taking this course, and it was amazing because I was in the course with first year students and second year students. And Dr. S had this opportunity in the course where we were able to talk to the students about the program, and an opportunity for first years to talk to second years, like, are there any recommendations, or let's talk about internships at all of the organizations in the Chicagoland area or abroad, right? And we were able to have these conversations. And I was exposed to students who were doing research with professors, and I didn't really have that before. And so these are students in my class sitting next to me and doing research as well. So it was a great opportunity to learn more about what's happening here in this space, right, at the University of Chicago. So, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And Marvin, what was it like for you?
Yeah, so my story always begins with Bianca's story because I pretty much, as Bianca's partner, I was just watching as we decided if GSAL was going to be the right fit, if it was going to progress Bianca in her goals, and how we were going to work it out in our personal lives. And so it's sort of the experience that prompted this renewal in our education has been this experience of going and working with people experiencing homelessness that just kind of got us onto wanting to figure out how to affect change around poverty, around people experiencing homelessness in our community and whatnot. And the answer to that for Bianca looked like social work. And for me, I wasn't quite sure. And I was really thinking about going into law school and seeing how I could affect that change through law. GSAL for me was remarkably different. I think one thing is Bianca's course was in person. And when I came along, we're talking about 2019, so we were at the cusp of the pandemic. And so after things worked out for Bianca in 2020, I came along and my journey started with having a conversation with Esther and talking about what were some things the University of Chicago could help me with in terms of moving closer to that law school goal. And we started looking at the Harris School of Public Policy because a lot of the questions that I was concerned with was how does the government effectively put on programming for people? How do we make sure that the proper populations are being served and served adequately by the policies put on? Because that there is a difference between the law and policy. And so that being the case, Esther helped me sort of curtail a specific track of courses. I took a logic course in the undergraduate school in the college, and I took a course called Smart Decarceration at the Crown School, where we were looking at how social workers could be prepared for the ending of the era of mass incarceration, what kind of opportunities and challenges were going to present themselves. And the thought process behind that was, really getting specific about my area of research, my area of interest, because at the Harris School, we'd have the opportunity to dive in deeper. And so I ended up getting a letter of recommendation from one of the professors and putting together an application for Harris. And the graduate student at large program, that experience definitely, it was instrumental toward matriculating into Harris, because without that experience of just seeing sort of that level of professorship and getting back in the classroom after a few years of being out of the classroom, and even while doing it on Zoom, the experience was pretty good. And so I applied to Harris and eventually was accepted.
Until next time, stay curious and keep the conversation going. You can contact us and learn more about the Graduate Student at Large program at gsal.uchicago.edu. This is Esther Pandian-Risky signing off from Conversations at Large. Take care.